Hello. Last time we left off, we had our character here set up to be able to walk, run, and the animator update his animations based on the direction he was moving. So now we're going to continue working on the animator. So window, animation, or 2D. No, animation, there it is. Animator. And we also want the window, animation. So we got his animation down here. And we make sure we have him selected. So, what animations do we have? We have, in the sprite sheet, we have walk in all four directions. We have an attack in all four directions. We have a pickup in all four directions. We have a carry walk in all four directions. And we have a hit or I'm going to say that's a receive item animation. So, let's finish off doing the rest of his animations. Let's look at creating his pickup animation first. So, if you notice, again, his pickup animation is going to be 3 frames. So, let's come back to our scene so we can see our character. Click on our animations here. Click create new clip. And we're going to put this in our animations folder. And we're going to say pick up, and we'll say down. Pick up, down. Or actually south. Alright, so let's scroll through our little animations to see here. Walk animation, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm guessing, let's see, sprite editor. Let's see what the first animation is. It's going to be character 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6. So let's hit the record button. Select graphics. And find character 4. Alright. Let's change this to 12. 12 seems to be a good number usually to start off with. Frame 1. Character. We want character 5. Frame 6. We want character 6. Alright. So now let's hit play and see what this looks like. It's really fast. Let's go with 8 samples. That looks about right. Now, come to this one, and we've got our pickup south. We're going to duplicate it, Control D, rename it to pickup left, duplicate that, rename it to pickup right, and duplicate this one, Control D, rename it to pickup north. Alright. Select our character again. Select our animator. And you got the pickup south here. We're going to delete that. And we're going to say, we're going to duplicate our idols. We're going to rename our idols 0 to pick up. Alright. We're going to make a transition to here. And let's add a boo. Do we want to add a boo? How do we want to do this? We just want to trigger it to him picking it up, or do we want to make it a boolean? We'll make it a boolean. Add boo, and we're gonna say has item. We're gonna select this transition. We're gonna say 0, not a fixed duration. And we're gonna say conditions down here. Has item is true. And then we're gonna come from our pickup state and transition to our idle state. And that's going to have the exit time. We're going to leave everything the way it is. Actually, we're going to come back to the space layer, delete this real quick. So now we're going to come into our pickup animation here, select our blend tree, and for idle down, we're going to replace that with pickup south. For idle up, we're going to replace that with pickup north. For idle left, we're going to say pickup left, and idle right, we're going to say pickup right. Right here. Alright. Now come back to our scene. Select our character again. And let's change his pickup right. So we have to come back down here to our animate or our thing. Sprite editor. His pickup right animation is going to be characters 17, 18, and 19. So pick up right, select the frame, record, and I'm going to make this so I can just read them. So 17, select frame 1, 18, frame 2, 19, and now we click play. Yeah, that looks about right. Alright, so pick up left, sprite editor, pick up left is going to be 39, 40, and 41. So 39, 40, and 41. So we're going to hit record, select 39, frame 1, 40, frame 2, 41, Alright. Now we need to change to pick up north. That's the only one we haven't done yet. So which ones are his up animations? It's going to be 28, 29, and 30. 28, 29, and 30. Pick up north. Record. Frame 1, frame 0, which is first one. We said 28. 28, 29, and 30. So 28. 28. 29. And 30. Play it. Alright. Good. Now we got his pickup animation. Let's add in his attack animations. I think attack will be next. Yeah, we'll do his attack animation next. So, attack down is going to be 46 through 52. So we're going to do this again. We're going to create a new clip. And of course we're going to say we want to call it attack down. And 12 samples for now. And his first attack animation. Alright, so select him, record, and we're going to select the graphics because that's what we're changing is the graphics. 46, frame 1, 48, frame 2, 50, frame 3, 52. Now you notice, let's go back to our sprite editor. So when we slice these, we deleted animation frames, or we deleted, because when we sliced it, we did it by 16 by 6 by 32, right? Yeah, 16 by 32 when we sliced this frame up. And then we came in here and deleted the extra frames that we didn't need and made his attack animation wider. We made his attack animation at 32 by 32 instead of 32 by 16. So each of these is going to skip a number because we got 46, 48, 50, and 52. And that's why, because we deleted 47, 49, and 51. "46, 48, 50, and 52. Let's see. And yep, it looks like 12 works really, really well for this animation. I like that. That looks good. Now, do we have, what do we have in here for his objects? Sprite. I'm just going to see if we have any attack animation, particle effects of some sort. No, we don't. Okay. So, now we have to think about when he attacks, what we want to happen. So, right now, he's just going to attack. We'll come back to that when we we'll just do the animations for now. We will be coming back to his attack animation here and adding in. Let's duplicate this frame. Control D. Control D. Control C. Control V. Alright. So what I did was duplicated this last frame. Just so we get, whoops, some sort of, let's hit play to see what happens. Alright. That gives us a little extra frame, an extra frame to see his sword when we play this. So let's come back to his animator. And he's got this attack down. We're going to delete the attack down. We're going to duplicate his idols here again. And we're going to rename this to attack. We're going to rename this swing attack. Alright. Now we're going to come up to our animations folder where we have all our animations played. And we have our attack down animation. We're going to duplicate this, Control D, rename it to attack up. Control D, attack right. Control D, attack left. Alright, so go into swing attack here. Select the blend tree and replace the idle down with attack down. Replace idle left with attack left. Idle right with attack right. And idle up with attack up. Okay. Make our transition. So we need to add another trigger. We're going to say trigger. And we're going to say swing attack. And we're going to go from any state because we want to do this at any time that you press the attack button. Select the transition here. Under conditions, we're going to add a condition. We're going to say swing attack here. So when that swing attack hits, it's going to transition to this. We don't want a fixed duration, and we want a transition duration of 0, so we want it to transition immediately. And then we're going to say make transition to our idols afterwards. Alright, we're going to select this transition. We're going to say it has an exit time. Transition duration is 0. And I think we can get rid of fixed. Yep. We just want the exit time. The exit time is going to be 0.4. That's correct. And also do the same thing for our pickups since we got our pickup animations here. Make transition back to idles. And we're going to say 0 here. And fixed duration. And we're going to base it off the exit time. So whenever it exits, whenever it gets done playing the pickup, it's going to go back to the idles. Alright, so our swing attack. Let's go back to our scene, select our character. Now that we have it, the animations in the animator, they'll show up here in the animations preview. We did the attack down. Now we need our attack left. Again. So here's our attack animation, right? So we need to come back to our character's graphics. And for his attack left, it is going to be 70, 72, 74, and 76. So we're going to hit record here. And we're going to expand this. Scroll down to the last set, 70. Now you can drag these up here. You don't have to do record. I'll show you another way to do this. So 70, 72, 74, 76, and 76. Because we already have this sprite graphics here, which will be this graphics. So if you notice when we scroll, now if you notice, our attack left, he moves a little bit. So let's fix that in the sprite animator. So come up here to your sprite sheets, click sprite editor. Let's zoom in on his attack animations. And it looks like, well, let's see where we are on with his feet. On his left animation on his idle. It is in line with this head, almost in the center of his body, at his foot. So let's scroll down. That one we're going to say is good. This one we're going to move, whoops, hit Control Z. Change this back to pixels. 8, we're going to move this to, it was at 16, we're going to move this over 15. I think. Is that the one we have to move? Which one do we have to move? Revert. Let's see which one we have to move again. So let's start with his first animation. His first. His second. He doesn't move. His third. His first he moves forward slightly, doesn't he? First, second, third. So it's the last animation that we have to change. So the last animation. So let's go to his last animation. And we're going to move it to, we're going to set this to pixels. And we're going to move this to 17. We're going to move it back one. Whoops. Not on that one. I'm sorry. On hit revert. On his very last frame, we're going to move his very last frame to 17. Hit apply. Now, when we come in and look at his animations, it looks like he swings and takes a step kind of forward and right back to where he was at, and that's kind of what we want. So, alright, let's do his attack right. His attack right is going to be frames 62, 64, 66, and 68. So let's find 62 here. 62, 62, 64, 66, 68, and then 68 again. Play that. He doesn't move at all. Alright. So let's re-edit this one because let's look at our attack left. He moves slightly. And then in attack right, he doesn't move at all. So let's fix that. It was the first frame that moved, was it not? What frame was it that he was moving in his attack left? Attack left. Forward. So it was his second animation. So select his second animation here. We're going to come down to pixels and change this to, we want to move it forward one. So we'll change this to 15. Hit apply. Now let's see. Let's hit play. There you go. He's standing still. Attack right. He's standing still. So let's look from his, let's go to his idle down, idle left. And let's go to his attack left. So there's his body standing still. If we hit play, it's in the same spot. So that's what we want. Alright. Our last one that we want to change is his attack up. So his attack up, if we look at the sprite editor, his attack up animation is going to be frames 54, 56, 58, and 60. So 54 is the first one. So let's scroll down to 54. 54 right here is his first one. 56 is his second one. 58 is the third one. And then 60 is going to be the last two. Hit play. Alright, that looks good. So, what other animations do we need to add to our character here? We have his attack. We have his pickup animation. So now we need a pickup and carry and a pickup and idle. So we need his carry item and carry walk animations. So let's go from attack up. Let's create a new flip. And we're going to say carry idle up. And on his carry idle up, that one was going to be, we're going to use character 7. So let's hit record here because we don't have anything here. So we're going to hit record. We're going to select the graphics because that's what we're changing. And we're going to find character 7 and we're going to make that his animation. Alright. So let's come back to his animator. Carry idle up. We're going to delete that. Now, we're going to copy this, hit Control C, and we're going to do something for his layers, his base layer. So, base layer right now, if you notice, override is with the blending set to weight of 1. So we're going to add a layer. We're going to say carry. And we're going to select our settings here, and we're going to say sync. So it syncs from the one below. So We can do override or additive. We're going to do override. Alright, so now our idols, we're going to select our idol here. So if you notice, there's no animation on any of these yet, right? So we are going to have to select our idols. Because we need a throw animation too. We don't have a throw animation. We're going to select our idols here. We're going to right click. We're going to say create new blend tree in state. Now we got our blend tree. So let's go back to our base layer. Select our base layer. Go in here. Select our blend tree. We can't copy that. Never mind. So go back to your carry layer. Go to your idols. Select this blend tree. We're going to have to change this to 2D simple direction. Add motion field. Add motion field. Add motion field. So we got add one more. So we got 4 motion fields here. Come up to our animations for this character. We got our carry idle up. We're going to duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Name carry idle up to carry idle down. Carry idle up to carry idle left. And name this one carry idle right. So we have carry idle, down, left, right, and up. So on your, if you select your base layer again, click in your idols, and notice we did down, up, left, right. So come back to our carry layers, our idols. We're going to do carry idle down, carry idle up, carry idle left, and carry idle right. Now this is very important to make sure that you have your directions set up the same way as what we have in this base layer. So we did down, up, left, right. So we're going to come into our carry layer again and look in our idols. Down, up, left, right. Alright, so now we have to select our direction X for pause X, and for pause Y we need to make sure it's direction Y. So we have 2 directions here. And we're going to do the same thing with our idle. So down's -1 on the Y position. Up is +1 on the Y position. -1. Alright. And left is -1, 0. And right is going to be 1 and 0. So there's our 4 directions. Okay. So let's do the same thing with our walk animation. So right now, we have walk down, left, right. So let's select all his walk animations, duplicate those. I don't know if I can duplicate them. Let's select all of them. Hit Control D, see if that works. Yep. So now we have walk down 1, walk left 1, walk right 1, and walk up 1. So let's select walk down 1, rename it to carry walk down, and 1 can be there. That's fine. Now find walk left, rename it, and add carry walk left, walk right, we're going to say carry, walk right, and actually get rid of the ones. We're going to get rid of the extra. Do the same thing with walk left here. And walk down. We don't want the extra one. And walk up, we're going to rename to carry walk up. Okay. So we've got his carry walks here. So on his, make sure that we're on the animator for this character again. We're on the carry layer. On his walks, we're to right click, create new blend tree and state. And we're going to come into our state here. And we're going to say add motion field, add motion field, add motion field, add motion field. So we got 4 motion fields. And we're going to do carry walk down, carry walk left, right, no, carry walk right, and carry walk up. So it should be walk down, up, left, right. We're going to change this from 1D to a 2D simple direction. And now his walk down is 0, -1. His walk up is going to be 0, 1. Walk left is going to be -1, 0. And walk right is going to be 1, 0. Alright. And we have to, because we created new animations for his runs, I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. So let's come back to the scene so we can see our character. Select our character here. And let's work on his carry walk down. Now if you notice, right now it's the same exact frame. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. And if we come back to our graphics here, look in our sprite editor, our carry walks 1, 2, 3, 4 frames, right? And if you remember right, we used this one as the idle frame. So our first frame that we want our walk animation to have will be the second one. So we're going to go this one, this one, this one, and then back to this one. So we're going to do 8, 9, 10, and then 7, right? So for his carry walk down, find his carry walk down animations. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to start with 8, 9, 10, and then 7. Okay. What's next? Carry walk left. So his walk left sprites is going to be 42, 43, 44, 45. So we're going to go 42 or 43, 44, 45, and then back to 42. So 43 will be the first one. Carry walk left. Come down here to 43. 43. Drag it up here. 44. Drag it up here. 45. Drag it up here. And then back to 42. Drag it up here. Let's scrub through our animation, make sure that we are right. Yep. His hands are up. Notice that he's walking now carrying an item. Alright. Carry walk right. So carry walk right. Sprite editor. His walk right is going to be animation 21, 22, 23, and then 20. So 21. So let's do this here. 21. His first frame's 21, 22, 23, and then back to 20. So if we press play, his hands are up and he's walking. Alright. Carry walk up. So his carry walk up. Right. We need to find what frames that we need for this carry walk up. So sprite editor, walk up is going to be 20, 32, 33, 34, and back to 31. So we'll start with 32. So 32, 32, 33, 34, and back to 31. If we press play, he's walking with his hands up. Alright, that's what we want. So let's take, so his walk we did at 6 frames, right? Samples of 6. So let's come back to his runs. We did his runs at samples of 10. So let's come back to our animations that we have and select our 4 walk cycles right here. We got carry walk down, carry walk left, right, and up. Hit Control D. We're going to duplicate these. Now instead of walk, we're going to say carry run. And we're going to delete the 1. So we got carry run down. Now finds carry walk left 1. Rename this one to, we're going to rename it to carry, from carry walk to carry run. Same with carry walk right 1. We're going to rename it to carry run. Right, carry walk 1 up. We're going to rename to carry run up. Alright, so let's select our player here, come back to our animator, make sure we're on the carry, select his runs, and we are going to say, we're going to right click, make transition, or we're going to say create new blend tree and state. We're going to double click the state, we're going to click our blend tree, we're going to add ocean field 4 times, 2, 3, 4, changes to a 2D simple direction, direction X and direction Y. So let's find our run animations now. So we're going to do run down, run up, run left, and run right. So our run down is going to be -1. Our carry run up is going to be 0, 1. Our run left is going to be -1, 0. And our run right is going to be 1, 0. Okay, come back to our scene, select our player again. Now we're going to have to if you remember right. So when we did our walk cycles, we did 6 samples, and our run cycles we did at 10 samples. So let's come up here to our carry walks. Our carry walks are good because they're 6, right? Because we duplicated that off from our walk cycle. So now let's come to our run cycle. So let's do our run down. We're going to change the samples from 6 to 10. So it's the same exact animation, he's just moving a little bit faster, right? Let's do the same thing for run left, 10. Do the same thing for run right, 10. And do the same thing for run up, 10. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do something a little cool in script come later on. So what we're going to do is his you got his base layer, right? That has his walks, runs. That's all set up the way we want it. And then we have this layer called carry, right? So what we're going to do, if you notice, we have a weight here of 0 to 1. And right now, our carry layer is synced to the base layer, and it's got a weight of 0. So what's going to happen is, in code, we're on our base layer, he's got his regular idles, right? In code, what we're going to do is when he comes to pick up an animation, he does his pickup animation, we're going to change the weight of this carry layer to 1. So when it goes to the idles, it will play his idle animations and walks. And then what we're going to do is when we do our swing attack, we're going to have to create a new animation for the swing attack in here. But when we do our swing attack, when we leave our swing attack animation, we're going to change the weight from 1 and go back to 0. Does that make sense? So I'll show you guys this later on. We're just right now we're setting up all his animations, so we have his animations, and then we'll go through and set up his we'll set up his actually instead of has item, we're gonna say trigger. We're gonna remove this one. So we have a trigger here. That's the swing attack. We're gonna make a trigger for pick up, right? And it's just gonna trigger the animation, and he's gonna pick up, and it'll run the scripts, and we will do everything that we have to do until we get rid of the item. So let's select his. Let's do our layers. Carry layer. We need a different animation for our swing attack, but we need to do it in 4 frames. So if you notice, come back to our graphics here real quick. This one doesn't really have a throw animation, so we are going to do a 2-frame animation, and we're going to go from this to this. We're going to play, so for his down we're going to do 6 and then 5. For his right we're going to do 6, 19 and 18, up 30, 29, 41, 40. So let's come back to our scene, select our player. We got our carries here. We need to create a new animation. We're going to call this throw down. Aha, throw down. Aha, ha. So we're going to hit record. Select his graphics here. And what did we say our first graphic was going to be? We said we were going to do 6 and then 5 for his down. So Let's find his character 6. Oh, select the graphics here. Drag character 6 up here. Let's change this to 12. Come to 1 and do character 5. Let's hit play to see what that looks like. That's a little fast. 8. How about 6? 6 looks good. We're gonna leave it at 6 and go with that. Alright. So now come up here to his animations. Nope. So we're getting this error down here. That's because when we went to our swing attack here, or when we went to our pickup here, we had it as a parameter of has item, and we deleted that has item and made it a trigger called pickup. So we need to come back in here to his conditions and do pickup. So whenever pickup is true, it goes right into this and it goes into his idle animation. So let's come back here. We have his throw down. So let's duplicate this one. 1, 2, 3. So we got 4. Rename throw down 1 to throw up. Throw up. Haha. Throw down 2 to throw left. And throw down 3 to throw right. So we need to make sure that we are on our carry. So we're on our carry. We're going to select our swing attack. We're going to right click. We're going to say create new blend tree and state. Double click this one. We got to create 4 motion fields. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we got our 4 motion fields. 2D simple directional. And we're going to say direction X and direction Y. Now we have to find throw down. Next is throw up. Throw left. And throw right. So throw down is going to be -0, -1. Throw up is going to be 0, 1. Throw left is going to be -1, 0. And throw right is going to be +1, 0. So there's our 4 directions again. Come back to our scene view, select our character. Now we will be able to find our throw animations here. So we did the throw down already. So let's edit our throw left. Let's come back to our character's graphics here. And our throw left, our sprite editor. We're going to do, for the left animation, we're going to do 41 and then 40. So find 41, drag it here, and then find 40 and drag it to this one. Alright, our throw right. Our throw right animations, we're going to do 19 and then 18. So find 19. And 18. Alright, now we are going to throw up. And for our throw up, we are going to use 30 and 29. So find 30 and 29. All right. So if you play, so we got all of our animations. Now we need our very, very single last animation. That's his receive item, right? So click on his animate. Well, click out here and create new clip. And we're going to say receive item. And if we do this correctly, it is going to be character number 11. So find his character number 11 sprite. We're going to click here. Click here. Find his graphics. We're going to click record. Find character 11 and put it in his graphics here. Alright, so now, how long do we want this animation to play for? We're going to say at 60 frames a second. This is corresponding to our seconds. So we're going to display this graphic for, we'll say 2 seconds. So we're still on record, so 2 seconds. We're going to character 11 again. So come to here, press Control C. So you select this thing, press Control C, scrub over to 2 seconds, and press Control V. So we duplicated this image, right? Now, we got to come to our animations folder, to our character sprite, find attack down. We have this thing that says loop time. So our attack animation, we do not want to loop. We want it to play once and done. And attack up. Loop time. Our carries, our idles, we want our idles, runs, and walks. We want it to loop. Our pickups here, we want to make sure we turn off loop time for our pickups. This is just a little bit of polish. This is just to make sure that once the animation plays through, it doesn't repeat if we have some sort of settings wrong in our animator. Our receive item, we don't want to loop time either. Our runs, we do. Our throws, we do not want to. Our walks, we do. So the reason we're turning off loop time on these, if you select your player sprite, comes your animator on our base layer. We'll delete this throw down because we already have this in here. Delete. So receive item. So what we have right now is our swing attack, right? And if you remember, we did has exit time, and we said exit time was 0.4. So our animation, if you remember right, for our attack animation, right now is only 4 frames, and that's why exit time is set to 0.4, right? But what if we had an exit time of, if we changed our attack animation to have 2 frames, and our exit time was still at 0.4? What would happen was it would play these first 3 frames, and with loop animation, loop time on, it would come back here and play this frame and this frame, and then it would go to the idle. So by turning off our loop times, by changing the, by turning off loop time, what's going to happen is it will play through the animation, and when the animation is done, it's done. It won't start back over to the beginning. So let's, whoops, I didn't want to add another layer here. We want to add another parameter, a trigger, and we're going to say receive I before E, except after C, item. And we're going to say make a transition from any state to receive item. And then we're going to go from our receive item to our idols. So our receive item, our transition here, we're going to say fixed duration. We're going to turn this off. We're going to change this to 0. And our exit time for our receive item, are we on the right layer? On our base layer. Speed of 1, animation. Let's do this again. Let's delete this. Let's make our receive item transition here. And let's say has an exit time 0, fixed duration. And we're going to say exit time of 1. That way it plays through 1 second. Alright. And that is done. So that wraps up our animations. We have all the animations for this character created. And if we click our scene real quick, we can play through any of our animations, right? We have attacks, carries, idles, pickup, throws, walks, runs, and receive item. If you click on his animator here, you'll see that we've set up his states. We have this any state, which means that we can transition from any one of our states to these. We've set up the transitions for these. Receive item 0. We set up our transitions to go from any state to the receive. So we have our parameters, right? We have receive item trigger, pickup trigger, swing attack trigger. So we go from any state to these, and then we go from those animation states to the idle, back to the idle when they're done playing. We go from our idles to our walks. If is moving is true. We go from our walks to our runs if is running is true. And then we go from our run back to our idles if we change to is moving is false. And then we go back from our runs to our walks if we change is running to false. And we go from our walks to our idles if is moving becomes false. And then we created a second layer for our carries. And we synced it with our base layer. And we said this is an override layer. And we set up the carry idle, walk, runs, right? And we changed the swing attack here. And we changed the swing attack to be the throw item. So that wraps up our current set. Next time around, we will come through and set up and continue working on our scripting to correspond with our animator to pass in the appropriate variables so that we can attack, we can pick an item up, and we can receive an item. Until then, have a good day.